So today we're going to talk about planning. Let me give you guys a rundown of what we're going to do. We're going to start, I'm going to explain something, and we're going to actually work. It really is a way for you to come out the end with a real plan. And that really is my heart's desire, that we get to the end and we have some idea of what we're going to do. What I know for sure is that when you make a plan, the level of confidence that you have in your ability to do your business and your ability to create success is so much larger. It really is, because at least you're not waking up on Monday going, wait, what am I going to do? Or at least you're not saying, come the first of the year, I'm going to. It's like, no, come the first of the year, I know what I'm going to do. So there's actually 6 sections to this planning that we're going to do. And the fun part about this planning is you're going to plan what happens in your life and your business. Because if you guys know anything about the boutique style business concept that I work with clients to do, is we're building a business that suits our life. We're building a business that's the business of our lifetime. It's a one-time business build, and we're going to have it forever. So I need to make sure that what you do in your business supports the life that we have, or just go get a job. I mean, really, like if you're going to work for yourself, let's have a really awesome plan for how we can maximize this. And it only happens when you are intentional. I would recommend that if you have a calendar, great. If you don't, it's okay. If you want to do it with a pen and a piece of paper and just take notes, great. I think you should open that Google document up. I'll give it to you in just a minute. And I think you should maybe make notes on it. What I will say is that once you start typing on that Google document, the page numbers that I'm going to reference for you are going to be off, because once you start typing, it's going to make the pages go in a different place. But look, you all are smart. You'll be able to find the page that we're on in the book. Whatever you don't get done during the time that we're here today, I just recommend that you carve out, like tonight, while it's still fresh on your mind and you still have this inspired thought, just do it tonight. Just finish it tonight. If you do not have an answer, first of all, I think we all could have an answer. Just go with what your gut says. And second of all is we talk a lot about future self-identity. You would say to yourself, if I was already successful, if I already had a business, because a lot of you guys are like, I don't have a business. If you already had a business, what would you be planning? That's the way we're going to answer the questions as we go. Let me give you a quick backstory of how I came up with this planning process. This is a wedding magazine that I had. This is one of my last issues, actually. In winter of 2017, I published it for 17 years. But when I first started my business in 2000, I was helping women who had a seasonal business. They were in wedding related businesses. And I had a magazine that I had to print 10,000 copies of every single month. I was under contract with the printer. And I started my magazine. It was going great. And by the 3rd month, they were like, hey, pull my ad out until spring. And I was like, what do you mean pull your ad out? Which meant I was going to have nobody in my magazine. And as I got to the bottom of it, it was like, they didn't know how to make money in the winter months. Now, of course, the wedding business has changed a lot, but out of that, it got me thinking, okay, first of all, I need to help women make consistent profit in business, which is what I'm here to do today, but also to really have a plan so that you know ahead of time, how do we ensure that in December, in January, in August, in whatever month of the year, that you are intentionally creating revenue. That's really how this process was born 20, almost 6 years ago, was to make sure that people could have consistent revenue. That's what we're going to do today. I think most of you guys know me. It would be my honor to serve you. We do have 2 summit spots that have opened up that I really would like to fill. It's a phenomenal opportunity. I'll talk to you about it at the end. If you want to talk to me about how I can help you, there's my link, debbieshad.com/schedule. Okay. So I will walk you through some of the things about planning, but it's all based around this, the Profitable Coach Framework. We talk about you creating a brand that helps you be seen as a successful coach before you are one. We talk about how you're going to become well-known. All of this is part of the planning process. We talk about the marketing that you're going to do. We're going to do that as well today. And then this 4th component is about creating a business that you're going to love. How do you create a business that really supports you? And that's the focus of what we're going to do today, is creating a business that you will love. How this is going to work is that as you go through this today with me, whenever there's this little blue bar that comes up, it'll be at the bottom of the page. that's going to refer you to that worksheet. And I do have the page numbers, but like I said, as soon as you start typing on that document, it's going to change the page numbers. We'll all have a different page number. Answer as much as possible. Give it your best answer. I'm going to stop and put on a timer. That's how we're going to do it. I've done this, you guys, for 10 years. I know that this works. And I know when people are done, they're like, wow. Okay. You're going to feel overwhelmed, but I say, look, you could write it down on a piece of paper and just cross it out because it's just optional. When you start feeling like, oh my God, she's asking so many questions, I don't know. It's not a big deal. You don't have to be overwhelmed about it. You get to manage your mind around this. Just say, wow, this is really interesting. I literally have never thought about this. So I am opening up your eyes to managing a full coaching business and a life, one that you really will love. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Expect it to come up like, oh, geez, but this is next level work. It really is. So why should you plan? Number one, let's have some more clients. Let's make some money. Let's go big in 2026. I really feel like, wow, 2026 is going to be an amazing year. When you have a plan, you're not second guessing what you're doing. When you have a plan, you know exactly where you're going. Okay. It is so comforting to wake up and know that you already have your social media done for tomorrow. You just show up in your business differently. You actually talk about your business more, which sounds like, why would I talk about it more if I already have my marketing scheduled? And it's because you feel so good about it. You're like, hey, go connect with me on Instagram because you know that your Instagram is taken care of. Or you say, I have a workshop on the 15th of the month because you know it's already planned. You will begin to look like a woman who really has a business. So we're not going to be wondering what we're going to do. We're going to plan on purpose. And I really believe that when you have a plan, our brain that likes to go haywire and tell us it's not working, we can give it direction. We can say, wait a minute, I already have a plan in place. When you have a plan in place and you start doubting what you're doing, you just remind yourself, I have a plan. Like I'm on track here. We're going to do two different parts of planning. The first part is we're going to look at what you want in your life. Why are you building a business? Yes, of course, you want to make a difference. You want to have an impact. You want to make money. But really, we're all working for ourselves because we want to have flexibility. We want to have some freedom. We don't want to answer to a boss, right? Or if you are working full time and you're working your way out of your career, you're doing it for that. We'll look at your lifestyle. We'll look at your business schedule. Mindset is a key piece to everything that we talk about, what your offers are going to be, what your goals are going to be, and your pricing. And the second part is going to be about creating this marketing and content plan for 2026. All right. In the first section, you can go to page 2 of the document right now. It'll probably be the only page that'll be correct once you start typing on it. What are we going to plan right now? In this first section, we want to talk about your life. What is it that you want in your life? I can think of over the years, people who said to me, I want to go to Orange Theory. Like I want to go there every morning. That's a lifestyle plan that you intentionally decide. Thais is here and I'm going to introduce her in a moment, but she was like, I'm picking my kids up after school. That was her thing. I'm going to plan. I have breaks planned during the day so I can go downstairs and see my grandkids that are here. I want to work on my mindset. I know what I want to accomplish in 2026. I know what I'm doing for marketing. All of those things are what we're going to plan. So let me take a moment and introduce you to Thais. We actually connected through this exact workshop. She stayed the entire time and she made a plan. And I can tell you, maybe I don't know this for sure, but I'm not sure if she had made very much money in her business at the time she was on this call. She was really just getting started, I believe. So she joined our VIP program in July of 2022, and she came on as our mindset coach in March of 2023. Today, she's the co-host of the Design Live Thrive Summit. She's been either in or a part of every summit that we've done. She does mindset support for our clients in the VIP, but she also is a phenomenal strategist. And I can tell you that she has used all of these processes to build a $100,000 business a year herself. What we teach works. Thais, would you introduce yourself?
I'm Thais Glenn, and as Debbie just introduced me to you, we met in this workshop, right? And it's truly, in my mind, the best workshop that I hope you feel the same way, but it's really caught my attention of the amount of detail that goes in to build a business. Not that it's hard, but there's a lot of pieces, right? And when I had all those pieces put together in a document like you guys have it right now, it gave me that sense of, oh, it's so much easier to do it when you have that path, and just having the path of what you speak on your marketing, it's already huge. So no, Debbie, to answer your question, I had not made a lot of money before I came to work
I
with
didn't
you.
want to say that.
Yes, no, I had not made a lot of money. So we met in December. I didn't hire her until July, but it was the time where I was like, okay, I need to take action in my business because I do need to make some money. And then with her help, with the plans, and you have some clients here too that can vouch for this, but you get going, you get building. And this works. I created my business. I made a lot of money. I decided to not make as much money, to be more involved with my children. And now I'm ready to make more money and be with my children. And it's so wonderful to see how those things all, like, it can work. It depends on what you want. But when you get that head on of, I have a business and this is what I want to do, having the plan that you form today, you will see by the end of the call, you will see it for yourself. You will feel completely different to get into 2026.
Okay, so a plan provides also a gauge to measure. This is another key piece. If we're going to really have a real business, we have to assess what we're doing. We have to be able to say, not because we remembered, oh, yeah, I know what I did. We have to be able to say, wait, I know what we did last January, and I know what worked, and I know what we're going to do next January, or I know what I'm going to shift. So it's really, this is going to be basically the starting point, January 2026, of you being able to go back and assess what you're doing. Because when you assess and you make small shifts from correct information, then you can really create much faster success. Tyson Bradley was a coach that we worked with, and he said this, and I thought just important to note here. Plan today from a place of belief that your business is working, that you are going to have the thing, not of, I don't know how this is ever going to work. That's not going to get you where you want to go. Remember, what you think about, you bring about. Okay. In preparation, I just want you to be curious. I want to plan from your future successful self. Along the way, I'm going to ask you some things like what worked, what didn't work, and what would you do differently. That's where you gain awareness as you build your business every week. That is standard assessing what worked, what didn't work, and what would I do differently. You can do this. I'm comfortable and confident that you can. B- just means that you're answering however you can. Don't worry about getting it right. Just answer today as we go. I'm going to bet that we're not going to spend time on this, but I want to make a note about this. You must have something to reflect and learn from. Probably, some of you guys have revenue, but the idea is that you need to know, not just at the end of the year, but every month, what is my total revenue? What is the profit? And look, as coaches, we do this thing called coach math. We're like, I'm going to have 20 people at $1,000 or $2,000, and I'm going to make $40,000. You don't make $40,000. You have expenses. We have taxes. That's how a business person thinks. So you have your total revenue and you have your profit. And for some of you guys, and I've been in that boat too, where I was counting sales. Okay, sales is not money in the bank. Sales is sales, which is exciting and fun, but that's not how much you collected. Okay, so you want to know what that is. I'm going to talk later on when we plan further down the steps about consults and clients. If you know that you're going to have to ask yourself, how many consultation calls did I have this month? You're not going to let very many months go by where you didn't have any. It's going to be like, wait a minute, how do I get a consult call? Because I want to make sure that I have those, because the path to clients is through consult calls. You do need to know those numbers. Again, I'm probably not going to pause and do that. What I would like to do, though, is I'd like to take our first break and journal on this, either write on a separate document, whatever you want. But if you don't have any business to report, we should have an honest moment before we start out planning. What could you have done that you didn't do? These are things we're going to take 2 minutes, and I want you to think about what you didn't do. What did you not do in marketing that you know you should have done? What could you have done to create more business? You want to identify what were the excuses that you came up with Some of them are really legitimate. Some of you guys are all taking care of family members. That's legitimate. But just to know, okay, instead of saying my business didn't work, you get to say, I didn't actually work as much as I should have. Let's start out by just having a 2-minute section here. I'm setting a timer. Let's go. I'm going to stop you guys. Well, that was 2 minutes. It'll go fast. I hope that you were able to have a takeaway. I'd love to hear what it was. I'll just share one for me that maybe some of you guys can relate. I get to a moment like this and I sort of kick myself for some great ideas that I had that I didn't act on. I always preach about intuition, and I do act on many of the intuitive ideas that I have. But I'm one of those people that has, just like you guys, the idea in the shower that morning of like, oh, I need to run up there and do a reel about this. There's many opportunities that I missed where I didn't stop because I said, oh, I have something else I have to do, where in reality, it would have taken me less than 5 minutes to do it and to publish it. That would be mine, one of mine. Gratitude and forgiveness. So this is another place that I think sets you up for success. Oh, I should say, as you start 2026, what are you grateful to yourself for? And what do you need to forgive yourself for? When we think about building a business, one of the things that I can say is we all measure it on client results, as we should. We should be looking at like, did we make money? That's what we're in business for. But the thing that most of us don't know is really what it takes to build a business. We've seen what it says online about building a business, and we think we didn't do good. We think we failed because we haven't done what they have done. In reality, I think a lot of you guys could make a list of all of the things that you learned, the things that you did, the chances that you took that nobody else did, the other people. I always say, other people are talking about it. And if you're here with me, you're doing it, right? Other people are talking about having a business. You're not. And I know if I was going to talk about some gratitude, I'm really grateful that I work on my mindset. That's one for me. I would love for you guys to just I'm going to just give you 60 seconds, gratitude in your workbook, and think of a couple of things you can be grateful for to set yourself up for success. All right. I want to talk next about the 50-50 equation. I promise we're getting to planning. I promise we're getting there. Okay. The 50-50 was a principle that I learned at the Life Coach School. And honestly, it has given me such relief. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand it too. If you think about a coin, there's two sides to a coin, right? It's either heads up or heads down. That's 50-50. Everything in life is the same way too. You wouldn't know what happy is if you didn't feel sad. There wouldn't be like a joyful day in your business if there wasn't a hard day in your business. We know that when we look at life. And this is just the acceptance that everything is 50-50. And so when things are not, quote, working the way that you want it to, when you have a lot of acceptance of like, I'm just on the 50, I'm on the down of the 50. That's what I say to myself. I'm on the up of the 50. This was really incredible awareness for me. And I want you to know, I challenged this idea. I was like, I don't believe that really applies to my business. So I actually spent an afternoon and I went through my entire calendar year and I looked at all the things that I was doing to try to remember, when was I inspired? When was I like in true belief? When was I burned out? When was I in doubt? When did I sell the most? When did I have dry periods? I swear to you guys, it was exactly 50-50. It blew my mind. You know, the thing is that the takeaway that I want you to have is that if you look at your year, which I just want you to have just a quick look at it here in just a minute. If you look at your year, you're going to see that pattern. And the biggest thing is that you don't want to make it a problem. When you know this now, and you have, I'll just say, a crappy month or a crappy week, instead of just saying like, oh my gosh, it's not working, you're like, well, that's interesting. I guess that's the 50 down, which means I'm getting ready to have the 50 up. Hopefully that will inspire you, but I'd love for you to look over the last 60 days and just see what you can find. Let's just take 1 minute and do that. Then I promise we'll get on with the planning. Okay, assessing your situation. So before you can plan your time, the first thing you have to do is say, what do I really have going on? At this moment in my life, who am I taking care of? And maybe it's just yourself, but am I taking care of my parents or my grandparents? I've done all those things, and my grandchildren. The reality is I cannot work 8, uninterrupted hours a day, 5 days a week. It's no longer possible in my life. It's also not what I want. So the first thing to do is, what do you have going on? If you work full time, which I know many of you do, then how many hours do you actually have to do anything in your life? Important to know what that is, because when we start talking in the next section about personal lifestyle design, you want to consider what time you have available to be working in all areas. When you want to think about planning your time, again, this is your entire life, not just your business. You are the architect of your time. We're often guilty, and I know I'm guilty of saying, I don't have enough time. I'm in charge of time. Nobody else is in charge of my time. I'm in charge of my time. We might say everybody else is taking our time, but we're really in charge of what we do. So when you plan, you're going to be in a lot better shape. Let's talk about personal lifestyle design. So I know this was a part that Thais really enjoyed. What is important to you personally? Personally and professionally, what is important? What do you want to do in your day-to-day? Where do you need to have flexibility in your schedule? If 2026 was the perfect year that you wanted it to be, what would you want more time for? Actually, I am giving the right amount of time to my kids. I'm very happy with the balance that I have. Control over finances. Who doesn't want more control over finances, right? Maybe it's like more consistent cash flow, time for travel. I know for me, hobbies. I get this joke of like, someday when I retire, what would my hobby be? I have no idea. So that's what we want to think about. In my perfect world, I'm going to give you examples. I would have time to travel with Tad, my husband. I would be more available for the kids. I would be a good example. Those four things are important: family, faith, fitness, health, and work. I value work. I would like to read for fun. I like to play pickleball, and I'll tell you what, I have not done very much of that. I love to entertain people, out of town people, and I love to have family dinners. And then I love to work with a coach, and I love to go to retreats. So that's in my perfect world. And I'm doing a lot of that because I have designed my year that way. I purposely planned it that way. When I think about my week to week, I say, what do I want to do every day? And for me, it was like, okay, every day I want to walk. That's very important to me. I want to have time to work out. In reality, we all have to run errands. I like to have a planned afternoon to go do that. Just get it all done at one time. How you have a business that works when you work at home for yourself is you're not just at the beck and call to everyone else. You have a schedule and you know what you're doing. You guys have heard me say, I don't do laundry in the middle of my workday because I'm at work. I would be doing coaching 3 times a week, and I would be getting coached too. I have this on here for Thais. She wants to pick up her kids every day after school, and she wants to be off during the breaks with her kids. What would your list look like? Then you can take it one step further and you can say, okay, on a weekly basis, this is what I'm going to do. Monday afternoons, I coach in the evening and I coach during the day. Monday afternoons, there's a window of time that I do appointments that I need to have. If I need a dental appointment or whatever, it's Monday afternoon. Tuesday evening, there's pickleball. Wednesday, I carve out more time for the kids. On Friday afternoon, I try to spend time with my daughter and run errands. And typically, if I'm gonna get my nails done, it's Friday afternoon with my daughter. Saturday morning, I play pickleball and shop. So you guys can see this. Wednesday is my day with the kids. Do you know what we do when we're done with this? We block off Wednesdays for all of 2026. It's a recurring event and it's already blocked off. Friday afternoon, you make your work schedule end at noon and it's already blocked off. So you have these things on your schedule before we even enter into 2026. So now it's your turn. You can grab your book, and starting at page 6 through 8, we're going to I have copied down the examples that I gave you so that you guys can figure out, okay, if I was going to plan my schedule, what would I want? What would I do every day of the week? Let's take 3 minutes and just go through the first page. Page 6 has like, what's important to you? What flexibility do you need? The second page is all about that schedule that I said. What do you want every week? So let's take some time and plan what it is for 3 minutes you would like your day-to-day, week-to-week to look like. Hopefully you guys have come up with something. I just made a new schedule, a different schedule than what I had. We talk a little bit about vacation. And so I just want to touch on that as well. That you guys probably saw on the worksheet that there was a place where I was talking about how many hours does it really take for you to do things in your life? How many hours does it take to run errands? We're also lucky now because we can have Amazon and things delivered to the house that we haven't had before. And that might be a consideration that you do want to do more of when you intentionally look at your schedule and you say, I feel like I don't have enough time to work on my business, to have clients, and to really have hobbies or whatever. Maybe you want to look at some of the other things and say, how could I simplify the time that I'm doing errands, household stuff? Honestly, when you work for yourself, it is much better if you're much more organized. When you work for somebody else, it kind of organizes your schedule for you. And then we want to talk about your vacation, holiday time and vacation. This sounds crazy too, but you can just block off your calendar right now for all of next year. And literally, when I'm done with this today, I'll finish up this work myself and I will block off 2026 for myself. I'll already know what days we're going to be off for Christmas next year. I'll know what week I intend to be off in March. So this is my schedule. And for some of you, you might say, I'm not going to take 6 weeks off of work. But here's the deal. And when you work for yourself, honestly, you need a little time to refuel. If you had down a week in March, like right now, put a week vacation in March, that might change to a different week. It might not be the 16th through the 21st. It might change to a different week. Those are things you just block off the time knowing that you're going to give yourself that gift later on. Or I might do in October, maybe 2 long weekends instead of 1 full week. But I would encourage you to just like you would do if you were at work, figure out what your vacation time is going to be. And when it comes to the holiday time, your clients don't want to work over the holidays anyway. Let's go into the second section and talk about your business schedule overall. So we first have to know what actually needs to be planned. What are your goals? How many hours do you want to work a week? Now, maybe if you're like me, I just mapped out my hours. When I was just mapping out my days, I just mapped out my work hours. So I know how many hours right now I do want to work a week starting January 1st. Weekends. I put this down here because I actually do like to work on weekends. Some of you guys are not going to want to do that. Some of you have no choice but to do that because you have a full-time job or you choose to do it. I know I had a client that wanted to do a coaching session on she was health and fitness, and she did one at Saturday morning at 9:00 and then Sunday evening at 5:00. Those were her 2 coaching sessions for the week. She felt like that worked best to get yourself together over the weekend to have success over the week. So what do you want to do? How many clients do you want to work with? I really want to have you think about that. A lot of you guys have already told me how many clients you want. It's easy to say 20 a week, but that might not actually be what you want, because just a reminder, 1 client is not 1 hour. If you're doing private coaching, 1 client is more than 1 hour. You have to prepare for them. You have to do email communication. You might be sending them things. You might be having text messaging with them. It's more than 1 hour for 1 client. So how many clients do you want to work with every week? And a lot of you have said like 5, right? You're not looking to have 30 or 40, and maybe you're going to do your clients in a group setting. So that might be the case. And then how many evenings do you want to work a week? I have to tell you, we opened up a few months ago, Monday evening coaching. And for 3 years, I only coached on Monday evening. I only coached 2 hours a week, and I had a business that did $100,000 and I only coached 2 hours a week. Honestly, I love Monday evening coaching. So some of you guys might be like, I don't want to work at night. But if you're going to serve people who work full time, which I love to help people that work full time, to have an evening opportunity for coaching is going to be really great. So that might be what you need to do to make that work. And then, again, personally for me, I do like to work on the weekends. I feel like that's quiet time to kind of get things done. So you get to make your own schedule. So let's take a moment, page 10, if you're still on the same page, and let's just take 2 minutes and figure out, how many hours would you actually work? What would the answer to these questions be? Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is we want to think about making this master plan for our business. Really exciting to think about, how do we plan our business? What do we want to do with our business time every day? And it's all by choice. And now a lot of you guys have worked with me, so you know kind of what's required to have a business. Some of you guys that haven't, maybe you don't know, but I really think planning out time for things like this. So this is a work schedule. This is going to be different than what I just planned. I'm going to have to change it. So this is not exactly the real schedule now, but what are you going to use your time for? Obviously, we're all going to have coaching calls, but for me, I have to have time to educate myself. I get coached myself. Those are all during my working hours. So just to put some perspective in this, all the things that are related to my business, which is me working with my business coach, me doing my things to learn, they're all part of my work hours. This is how you effectively plan and have time left over to have a life. Working with clients, email communication, podcast editing, podcast recording. We have team meetings. Your list is going to be different than mine. Yours, the list is going to be like working in Canva and creating graphics, writing captions, working on a new freebie, maybe working on a new workshop. When you know what the time is going to be, then ideally we're going to block the time. That's the goal, is to block the time later for what you want to do. That would be the next thing that I want to have you do. Let's go on to page 12 in the workbook. If you're going to take the two things that you do, your lifestyle, your working out, and your work and your vacations, and you're going to put them together, what does every day look like? This is when you get really down to it. I work out in the morning between 6:30 and 7. And then I get ready, start getting ready at 7. And look, maybe you guys don't want it to be this detailed. For me, I love it because it's like, oh, I know I have time planned to work out. And then I give myself that much time to work out. I know I'm going to intentionally walk at this time during the day. So when I have all those things really mapped out, oh my goodness, the results that you will create in your business and your life are so much different. We don't have to go through this whole thing and make the master plan, but I really want you to do that. Sketch out what you intentionally want every day of the week to look like. Make sure that you include the things like going to the grocery store, cooking dinner. Those all take time. And then if you are somebody that is really working on your mindset, let's be honest, all that stuff takes time. Right now, I'm reading 3 different books. Here's 2 of them. That's an hour every morning. And you have to have time like that built into your day too. What happens is you think like, I can't get anything done. It's not true. You make a plan and you plan the time. If learning becomes part of what you're doing, like you're working in my program, then first of all, come ask us how much time you should set aside to do the work. That's number one. We will tell you exactly how much time you need. And we'll tell you exactly what to do with the time, by the way. So some of you guys are here like, I don't know what I should set aside. Ask us, we'll tell you. But set those side things aside, time aside for those things so that you really do have yourself set up for success. The next thing I want to encourage you to do, and I don't have an example to show you, I got a big calendar from Amazon, big wall calendar for every year. It's just a dry erase calendar, and I put all of this on that dry erase calendar. You can literally mark out where your intended vacation days are. You can put your work schedule on there. And every time something came up, like something maybe I wanted to do or a wedding of a friend or something, I marked it on that calendar. I always had a bird's eye view of what I wanted to do. When we get to the marketing section that we're going to talk about here in just a few minutes, that was really helpful to have that because I also wrote on there when my workshops were, what the themes of what I was going to do, like pricing. I was going to talk about pricing for this particular month. I had all the themes of everything I was going to do. It was all on that one dry erase calendar. And again, beautiful thing. You can add Post-it notes to it, or you can correct it. The next section I want to talk about is mindset. I cannot stress how important this is. We have Thais here, literally because I said, I know I can teach you all the strategies, but I know what's going to happen. Your toddler brain, your primitive brain is going to get in the way and it's going to get you off track. So how do we make sure that we stay on track? Building a business by yourself in an online space Honestly, it's one of the most isolating things. And I don't say that bad because I happen to love it. I've done it so long, but it's really isolating. It's very easy to get in your own way. It is very easy to derail your own progress. How many of you guys are guilty of that? It's so easy to change your mind and your direction. All of that is possible if you're not paying attention to what you're thinking. How do you change your mind around your thinking? You do things like this. You have a $100 bill sitting on your desk. How do you change your mind around your thinking? You read these books, you get coached, you really intentionally think about what you're doing. The first thing I want to say is over the last year, if you think about what you accomplished, I'd love to know, and we're going to pause and work on this. What are you most proud of? And here's the key, whether it's personal, professional, what were you thinking? Because I'm going to tell you what, if you get to the bottom of what you were thinking by whatever result you have, you'll see how much what you thought about is what you created. What did you believe at the time with that result? I'll use one example. I'm going to have you guys think about business and personal and relationships. Somebody said to me yesterday, I would love to be around you and your husband. You must really have a good marriage. I said, well, do you know why I have a good marriage? Because I decided I did. I mean, really, I decided I have the best marriage ever. And that's all I ever say. He's a person who does things that aggravate me, but I decide, oh, wait, I have a really good marriage. And I decide to think something different about it. I'd love for you guys to pause for a moment, think about what you accomplished, business, personal, relationships, what you learned financially, all of those things. Let's cover those for a couple of minutes. Okay, I have 2 more assignments for you. Here is one you're going to have to write down, and I think it's going to be the best thing that happens to you all day out of all this planning. Do you know what you're going to do? You have to promise me you're going to do this. And for those of you guys who are not my clients, please find me on Instagram and tell me about this. What did you accomplish that you were most proud of in 2026? Okay, we're on page 13. I'm changing this, not over the last year. What did you accomplish that you were most proud of? Okay, you go to your future self who already has it. What were you thinking in 2026? And what did you believe all year long to get that result? I want to know what that is for your business, for your relationships, for your finances, for all of it. That's number 1. You guys got that written down, 2026. That one makes me giddy. I'm super excited about that one. I know that there is a page in the workbook on page 14, what's going to be your mindset practice? Where will you focus? This is all about 2026. But I think just knowing for sure at the end of the year what you already accomplished, wow, that's going to be really good. Moving on. I want you at the bottom of page 14. I want you to take some time and we're going to decide what you're thinking that is going to hurt your business right now. All of us have things like this. And at the bottom where I have the stars, list the beliefs that are going to keep you from reaching your goal. We're going to identify those right now. I want everybody to write down 10 of those beliefs. I'm with you. I'm going to pause for a moment that are going to keep you stuck, that are going to keep you from getting to where you're going, these are going to be the things that you're going to have to change. Okay, I want 10 on that list, the things that will slow down your business growth. Does everybody have that one down? The 10 things that are going to slow them down in their business in 2026. Okay, what we have to do then, you guys, is really look at those thoughts. We have to really look at those thoughts and make sure that we are addressing those. Let's just do a real quick recap. All right, marketing. This is what we're all here for, right? Marketing makes us money. I want to introduce you to the idea again and again that marketing could be simple. It really could be. I did a training this week in another community, and I was just really trying to get them to understand marketing is just talking. That's all it is. Marketing is just talking. We're already talking about our business. We just need to direct our talking into a few places. We should be talking to people, of course, but really it's just communicating. That's how easy it is. So don't make it such a big deal that it keeps you from doing it. And I want to encourage you that the way you become a good marketer is by doing it. You become a good marketer by doing it not very good. In the beginning of your business, people are not looking at it. The people who are looking at it are all of us that are looking. If we work together, we're all looking at each other's stuff. But the world, which it feels like the world is not looking at your stuff. So it's really great because while you're getting better, the amount of people that are seeing it is also increasing at the same time. By the time you get it really good, by that time, you'll be in good shape. I want you to think about the marketing that caused you to buy something. Over the last 12 months, what have you bought? And if you can think about coaching, that would be even better. What coaching did you buy and why? I had done a training recently and I basically declared it the year of trust, that 2026 was going to be the year of trust. We are in a space now with AI, which AI is a great tool for us, but we have to elevate ourselves above AI. And how do we do that? You want to think about the people that you engage with. How long were you engaged with them? I had a call with somebody yesterday and she was like, I got to figure out how I can make some money right away, which I understand. I understand that. And I said, okay, well, what have you done? And she's like, I posted a few posts, but I got to make some money right away. I said, okay, hold on. How long have you been following me? She said, 2 years. I said, okay, you've been following me for 2 years. I'm not saying that that is your reality, that it's going to take you 2 years of having somebody follow you, but also it's important to know some people need more time. The time has to be right. So I meet people the very same day they meet me, they buy from me. That's absolutely true. And that's always been true. But also there's going to be people, it's going to take some time. So think about the people that you've been following. Why have you stayed engaged with them? What have they been providing for you that keeps you coming back? Thais shares the story. In fact, I think it was related to this planning class, that she came to this planning class and got a real understanding of what she needed to do with her business. She went away and did what she could do on her business. And then July of 2022, she decided, okay, wait a minute, I don't know how to do this. And I was the first name that came to her mind. That's what you want to be able to do, is create marketing like that. That's why when you have a plan and we're like, we're building a business for our lifetime, we know what we're doing for all of 2026. Let's figure out how you're going to market your business in the same way where you will give people the space to really be able to fall in love with you. Authentic marketing is the marketing that makes you feel good. There is no marketing in the beginning that feels easy, honestly. But if you continue to reframe it that way, I'm just talking to people about what I do. If you guys are talking about it, marketing in an authentic way, then let's do that marketing. What is the thing that you feel most comfortable with? Maybe it's posting on your personal Facebook page because that's the only thing you know how to do. Then that's going to be the place that you're going to market your business. That would be one of the ways that you do it. Don't have this list of things that you have to learn how to do. What you need to do first to know how you're going to market is you have to decide on your business model. What is your business model going to be? Are you going to be somebody that launches something? And for my new clients here or new people here, you can launch private coaching. Launching means, and we teach this inside of our program, launching is just a series of intensive marketing that you do, and there's bonuses around it, that kind of stuff. Are you going to do launches, which mostly means that, like, let's say 4 times a year, a bunch of people are going to come in? Or are you going to do what I do, which is rolling enrollment? People are always coming to work with me. Are you going to do private coaching? If you're new to business, I highly recommend private coaching. The important thing to consider here is once we know what your business model is, like, for example, if you're going to do group coaching, is it going to be groups that start like the first of the year and it goes for 12 weeks and then a new group starts for 12 weeks? Because your marketing will be based on that kind of situation. Do you know what it is that you want to do? Because again, that will determine how you're going to do it. The questions that you want to answer that are on page 15 in the workbook are, what are your favorite places to market? Because guess what? Those are the places that we're going to pick. And if you have written down no place, then that's a problem. We have to figure out what it's going to be. Where are the places that you found something that you bought? What is the marketing that turned you off? I know for me, I have a long list of things that I don't like that people do that I don't want to do. What is the marketing that turned you off? Like, for example, I DM marketing, if you're doing direct message marketing is okay, but I'm not going to do cold direct message marketing. So figure out what feels good. We have clients that have great success with DM marketing because they love it. The next step is that we decide and we commit. What are we going to do no matter what? One of the things that I want you to know that will change your business is that if you become a fast decision maker and somebody who keeps their word, oh, you guys, your business will change dramatically. Thais and I see, and we talk to people who've been working on their niche. And I'm sorry if this is you. You've been working on their niche for over 2 years. Yeah, that's a person that can't make a decision. Now, I mean, it is nice when you can come into any coaching program or like our people, I try to help them make a decision. Let's get that decision made and get on with it. But for yourself, figure out if you're not making decisions fast, I'm telling you what, it is hurting your business. If you are still working on your pricing, if you're still working on your offer, either get somebody to help you to make the decision or just decide and move forward. The way that you make your decisions right is by deciding and acting on them. The way you make your marketing right is by deciding and doing it. You just have to decide and commit to do it. Where are you going to market? I have down examples on page 16, and I want you to decide what it will be for you. I kind of use the same list of examples all the time when I'm talking to you guys, but I think everybody should be on social media. I think whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. You should be on social media. It's free. And I can tell you, it doesn't matter whether I have 3,895 followers. I get business from Instagram every single month. So it doesn't matter if you look at my posts, people aren't liking them. They're not commenting on them. And I get business from Instagram every single month. So you still need to be on social media, right? Maybe it's email. I do want to mention that there is fast ways to clients and there are slow ways to get clients. Now, a slow way to get a client is with a podcast. Because think about it, when you start a podcast, you have 0 listeners and somebody has to go find your podcast and listen. And it's a very slow growth period. It compounds. Once it gets going, it compounds and you'll begin to get results pretty quickly from it. You need to have a balance of both. I'll just tell you right now, the secret to getting clients the fastest is by talking to somebody. It's by talking to people in your local market is the fastest way to get people. It's for you to decide that you're not going to judge everybody and say, there's nobody that would work with me here. Nobody here has any money. All those things are business killing thoughts. Decide where you're going to market. I gave some examples of places, but happy to share with you at the end what those things might be. So let's take a minute. I'd like for you to decide where you're going to market your business in 2026. We got that figured out, guys. That should have been quick and easy. I made my list and I numbered in my opinion, in the order of importance for me. I wrote down 5 places to market my business and I wrote them in the order that I want to pay most attention to in 2026. You might think about that, like, where is it that you want to put your emphasis and pay attention? What do you need to learn? This is another important part. It's one thing for you to say, I'm going to be on social media. That's what I'm going to do. But if you're not on social media, and I don't know that that's the case for anyone here, but if you're not on social media, I'm going to bet it's because you're unsure about how to write the captions. Maybe you're not sure if the graphics look good. You're not sure if you're doing the reels right. Whatever that is, that needs to get solved. By the way, we're doing a social media challenge starting the 1st of January. We're helping with these things. But honestly, if you don't know how to do those things, make a list of what you have to know to email market, to do social media, to do a workshop, and then that becomes your learning list. When you sit down and you're like looking for something on YouTube, the one way to find how to get clients, you don't look for that. You learn how do I write a caption in 3 easy steps? That's what you go look for. Or how do I write an email? That's what you go look for. So make the list. Honestly, it will really help you, and only go Constraint is really works in your favor, you guys. Only go and work at that and work on that. Content topics. Here we go. Don't anybody get overwhelmed when you look at the list. It's a big list. I actually checked with Thais and I said, should we make the list smaller? And she said, no. So we're keeping the same list. I think this is where people are going to get stuck, but oops. Sorry, guys. But I also know that what keeps you from doing the plan that we just made is you're going to say, I don't know what to say. I'm going to run out of things to say, or I have run out of things to say. If your niche is right and you love what you do, you should never run out of things to say. The problem is you're not sure, like, what are the right things to, so much of it is like you need validation on things. So please, let's work on this list so we can try to get you off on the right foot starting immediately. Okay. So what I did was I made a long list and I'm going to walk you through this. Again, this is not complicated. It's only complicated if you let it be complicated. Your niche. If you have the right niche, you already know that person. You already know your business. You already know if your niche is right, you already know what your client is interested in. You already know what they would be intrigued by, excuse me. You already know how you would help them. All of the answers that you need for marketing, you already know. If your person, let's say, was a 61-year-old woman who was working in her business, and that was my ideal client, mine's a 50-year-old woman, what is she thinking right now about her business that I could be literally have my mind set on a picture of a woman who's in our age group, 50, 60, 70 is my client range. Not that we don't have some younger, but in that age group, what is she thinking about going into 2026? And I can tell you it's only one thing, like, oh my God, I got to figure out how to get clients. That is what my marketing message marketing for the day, I shouldn't say marketing message, my stuff would be about, because I know that person. So please, when you start to make this list, remember, you know this person already. We're going to go through some examples. I made a list of 24 here, you guys. 24. Now, y'all know my business already, so I'm going to go through what it would be so you can see examples. When you think about this list of 24 things, you're like, no way could I come up with 24. Yes, you could. This is going to be a month of content, basically. Think again, like, what is the way you're going to coach somebody? What's the questions that they're going to have? What's the concepts that you're going to use? What's the process? What are they going to realize? What are they going to understand? All of that is also topics, okay? You might have a business. I'm leaving this just as a side note. You might have a business that could be seasonally impacted. My business is seasonally impacted because right now we're at a planning session for the end of 2025, prepping for 2026. Do you see how I made that a seasonal? So part of my marketing would be seasonally driven. I have marketing like in the spring around taking the summer off. I have marketing at Labor Day that's about getting back started. What would that be for you? For some of you guys, you might not have that, but I suspect everybody has something like that. So you might think a little bit further about that. So here's my example. Here's 24 things that I would talk about all day long with no help. All of these things right here. I could talk about how to use the tech, how to take payments, how to gather testimonials, when you should raise your prices, when to move to group coaching, what your nurture email series should say. All of those things, I don't have to look any of that up. And I promise you, you could have a list just like this. I'm not going to do the list with you right now, but please do me a favor and sit down tonight and just come up with this. This is about changing your mindset around marketing. And if you're going to start being regular with marketing and you're going to do a lot of marketing in 2026 to have a big business, you have to prove to yourself that you can actually think of things to say. Okay? Like pinky swear that you're going to do this. Once you have that 24 things, you could, in theory, narrow it down to 12. So right now, we're going to just pick 12. 12 things that you could talk about with your coaching, okay? Let's get to work. You can use these 12 topics by the month. I had like all month long was about pricing. My workshop that month was about pricing. The podcasts that I did were around pricing. The social media had something to do with pricing, earning money, that kind of stuff. So you can do it by themes, you can do it by weeks, or it could become daily. Any of those are an option. Just want to prove to you, though, that there's lots of things that you could talk about, but we are going to decide on what you will talk about. I mentioned to you guys about seasonal selling, but there's also selling seasons. So there's the seasonal selling, which is going to be like, it's the end of the year. If you want to get started, you need to start right now. But if you want to have a flow of your business, it's also great to plan right now what you're going to do. This is an example. Like we might be launching the VIP in January. We might be launching the fast track in February. Something like that is that big overview. If you know what you're going to do every month of the year, then again, you know what your marketing is geared towards. So you can take all of those topics and relate them to whatever you are going to be selling. Many of you guys are just working on private coaching right now, but you can still have every month, I'm going to sell 3 private clients. That could be your sales flow, your intended sales flow. You get to decide what that's going to be. What is it that you could be doing that you might want to map out? That's on page 21. So I'll let you guys make a note of that as well. Okay. This is going to be the key thing. I'm telling you what, I had a lady, Carissa, one of our students that we love. She actually was in this training and she saw this, and it was like in 2023 or 2022. She's been doing the exact same thing ever since. She has never changed what she's done. In the beginning on social media, 7 days a week, decided to post after this training. She knew what her business was about. So she knew her topics, her content topics. And on Monday, she had that content topic list. She's like, okay, I'm going to rotate through it. If I have 5 pillars, on Monday, I'm going to use the first pillar and I'm going to give a tip or an education point. On Tuesday, I'm going to talk about a transformation that's possible. On Wednesday, I'm going to do this. When I talked to her recently, what she said was, in the beginning, when I first started doing this with you, I was doing just a standard single graphic in Canva and I was writing a caption. And I did that for a long time. Then I finally got enough courage to where I could do a reel, like I'm talking about like a video reel. She said, but it was really scripted, took a lot of time, all that. She said, then in 2025, I said, you know what, forget it. I don't care if my makeup's done. I don't care if I'm all sweaty from a bike ride. I'm going to post any day of the week, just like this, because this is how I'm going to build my business. So she is using the exact, she's like, oh, it's Friday. I have to give a fact today. What is it going to be? So she's got it down so well now, she can be out on a bike ride and stop and do a reel on Friday because she knows what the topic is. Okay. So in the bottom of page 22, I would love for us to take you can either copy this list or in 60 seconds time, let's just make a list Sunday through Saturday. What would you put on your own list of just the topic idea for the day? 60 seconds we're going to take. Okay, Annie, here is slide 53 again, you ask. Good? Yeah, okay. Here's a super simple shortcut for content. Now, I know I just went through 24, 12, by the week, by the month, by the day. Here's what you can also do, is you can decide 7 things that you're going to talk about, 7 topics that you could talk about like forever without researching, without doing 7 days. And this literally starts with Monday. I talk about branding. Tuesday, I tell people what to do. Wednesday, I talk about social media. Thursday, I could talk about those 7 things on repeat from a different perspective, a different angle every day of the week. This could be the easiest thing you can do for yourself. You can literally on your notes app, make a different page. Page 1 says branding for coaches. The second page says how to tell people what you do. That literally could be your list, and you could pull from that every Tuesday is number 2. That could be the easiest way for you to do it. So please, whatever plan you just made, please follow through. Before this day is over, while you are still in the mindset of this, we decided where you're going to market. We decided what your topics were going to be, and we've made a commitment to do it. And now I want to encourage you to not wait until January 1st. Just start today. Say, what is the easiest way that I can do one of those things today? And how can I make sure that I have my marketing all done between now and the end of the year? If you guys know your niche, if you know how to do any tech at all, if you're anywhere in your business, please try to do that. It will really help you get started off on the right foot. I'm going to talk about numbers now, so don't anybody check out. Numbers are not the fun things. Okay, so we're going to talk about money goals. We're going to come up with a money goal, one goal. Get accountability if you need to get towards this goal, okay, you guys? One thing I want to say is don't tell people about your dreams who do not get it. If you are talking to people about your business, there's two things, and they're not in this room with us right now. There's 2 things that's going to happen. Either number 1, they're going to think you're crazy that you could do that. Or number 2, they're going to wonder why you didn't get a client today. There's 2 ways that this comes out. Your spouse is going to say, what happened? Why are you not getting any clients? Because he thinks that you or she thinks that you said you're going to make a whole bunch of money. So that's either going to happen, or number 2, they're going to be like, you must be crazy. There's no way you could possibly do that. I really would encourage you to find a safe place to talk about your goals where other people get it, other people believe in you, because there are dream stealers that are just going to really suck the life out of your dream. And I believe you have a God-given dream and a purpose. I really do. That you know is your unique idea that is meant for you. Your goal, what I want to teach you about a goal, so that you really think about it. There's more to a goal than just numbers. You have to ask yourself questions that you don't have answers to right now. How many people, that's called a lead. How many leads, like how many new email addresses, how many new contacts, whatever you want to call it, do I actually have to know to make a sale? This is a big reality check, because what we think, and it's all sort of perpetuated in the online spaces, like meet somebody and sell them. And I do that. I really do that. I meet them on the same day and I sell them. But that is not the norm, you guys. The norm is that they have met you and maybe consumed other content of yours. Like they've had other ways to get to know you. Maybe they met you on that day, but they binge listened to 6 videos of yours. Now they really do know you all in one day. Just know, how many people do you have to talk to even get them to have a consultation with you? How many people need to be looking at your emails before they actually book a consultation with you? We don't know what those numbers are, and that's going to be different for every one of you. Your marketing message, the way that you communicate about your coaching, honestly, you guys, is going to influence this right here more than anything. Yes, your belief plays a big role, but whether you can effectively talk about your coaching, whether you can explain the value of your coaching, whether you understand whether your offer is good, like your pricing is right, all those things play a role in this, because leads are not going to have, people that you meet are not going to get to the next step unless you can communicate effectively, okay? You do have to do regular check-ins with yourself, again, all year long. Do not get to the end of this year, 2026, and be like, okay, what happened? No, you stop. At the very least, have a quarterly meeting with yourself. You can schedule that on your calendar. Quarterly meeting to say, okay, I cannot let time slip away from me. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I've got to figure that out. What's going wrong? Why didn't I pay attention to my business? Why did I allow life to take over my business? And I know that we all have things we have to do. I get it. We get people that are sick in our lives and all that. But you always want to say to yourself, if I was working a full-time job, I just wouldn't be off work forever. Somehow we let our businesses just go to the side. This is your full-time job. If you treat it with that same level of respect, you wouldn't be calling in every single day saying, I can't get to work. You'd be saying, how do I figure out how I can take care of my mom and work? Okay. It's up to you if you want it to be that important, but that's how your business slips away. When you make traction, like you've gotten some things going, and you stop, guess what? You end up at ground zero. Every single day of 2026 is the right day to sell your coaching. Every day is the right day to sell your coaching. Let's just talk about a money goal. I know this goal is smaller than what most of you guys want to do, but it's easy math. So just multiply it yourself. If you said, I want to make $24,000 a year, which actually a lot of you guys are in that range, you're like, I'd be happy with that. That's $2,000 a month. Then if we're going to figure this out simply, y'all know I have the whole pricing formula. We'd have to think about what your offer was and a lot of other things, but we're just doing simple math here. Your goal would be to sell 5 clients every single month, or to have 5 clients paying you $400 every single month. It becomes a matter of, okay, if I'm going to have 5 clients paying me $400, how many people do I have to meet? This influences your marketing, right? It influences, are you going to go to that networking event or are you not? Are you going to skip it because it feels uncomfortable? Or are you going to go because you want to work with 5 clients this month, next month, and the next month? As you go in your business, you'll get so much better at what you do. In the beginning, you might have to have 10 consultations to sell one person. I've got this example, meet 10 people, get 3 consultations and sell one. I actually had 20 consultations before I sold one. And I'm literally like a rock star salesperson. In my entire career, I've been in sales. Online sales was just different. It was something I had to learn. I had to learn how to communicate. I had to learn how to be confident, comfortable with my pricing, take payments, close, all the things. You have to give yourself some time and space to grow into that. How many consultations do you have to have? If you're doing 10 to 1, then there's some work that we need to do. If you're not closing every other person you talk to, there's work to be done. That might be an area of growth for you as well, is to make sure that your offer is aligned. You feel good about that. You know how to talk about it. You could also be like just simple things like getting the wrong person on a call. Maybe your marketing is good, but it's bringing in somebody that's not actually ready to buy for you, or doesn't have the money to buy from you. Those are all small adjustments that you make in the marketing and in the marketing message to be able to improve those things. What is your money goal? Y'all have one? Can you think of one right now? I know what my goal is for 2026. I won't put you on the spot, but I'd love for you to pick a money goal. Write it down, your money goal, okay? Don't judge it, just write it down. So when we work together, I talk about having 3 different kinds of goals. I talk about the basic, like the good goal, which is like the baseline, the better goal, which is the good goal plus a vacation on top of that or something. And then I talk about that mind-blowing goal. That's the one that will actually get you to really grow. So maybe you want to pick more than one, but pick your goal. It should be written down on a Post-it note right in front of you. And you ask yourself, what do I have to do to make $24,000 a year, to make $2,000 a month, to have 5 clients every single week that are paying me $400 a month? What do I have to do?